This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so functions in Python. So basically, whenever I'm talking about any program, okay, so suppose if you are writing, okay, so if you are writing a program, like say, now for example, if I'm asking you to write a program for adding of two numbers, so how will you write generally? So you will say A is equal to, so simply what you say, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3, and generally you will say print of A plus B. Okay, so then what is this print here? Font is okay? Okay, I'll just increase the font. Okay, right. So what I'm saying, print of A plus B. Then what is this print actually? Print is a function. What is print actually? Print is a function. So if I have to define a function, so I have to give a definition for a function, right? So what a function is going to be? A function is going to be, a function is a part of a program. What is a function? A part of a program. So function is a part of a program that will perform some task. What it will perform? It will perform some task. So what a function will do? Function will perform it. What is print doing? Printing something. What is print doing? Printing something. Printing something onto the console. What is print doing, sir? Print is printing something onto the console. Like that, every function will do some task. Yes, every function will do some task. Okay, function is a part of the program. So I'll give you very simple definition. I'll not go for big definitions because it is not very much useful. Okay, so what is important, that one only I'll give. Right, so function is a part of the program that will do some task. Okay, right. What are the other things that function can do? A function may take the data. Function may take the data. Function may take the data and even may return the data and even may return the data. So what a function can do? Function can perform task. Point number one. What is point number two? Function may take the data and function may even return the data. Function may even return the data. So function may take the data and function may even return the data. Right? Understood my point? What a function may do, sir? First part, it will do some task. What is second part? It may take the data and it may even return the data. How it will return, I'll show you. Is my point understood? Yes? Okay. Now let us talk how can we write a function in Python. But before that, we have to know that we have two types of functions. One is predefined functions, one is user defined function. Now print is what? Print is a predefined function which is already there. It is already there. Python environment already gave you that. Python environment already gave you that. What it gave you? It gave you the already defined functions. It already gave you the defined functions. Yes or no? It already gave you the defined function like print, like you use something like dir, HELP. What are all these? All these are predefined functions. All these are predefined functions. Got my point? Okay. So a function, okay. In Python, we have two types of functions. We have two types of functions. How many types of functions are there in Python? First one is predefined functions. Predefined functions. What is the first type, sir? Predefined function. Predefined function. What is the second type, sir? User-defined function. User-defined function. First one is predefined function. Second one is user-defined function. Predefined means already defined, already there, already there. User-defined means which we have to create, which we have to create. Okay. First, let us talk about the predefined function. Let us talk about the predefined function. So predefined functions means the functions that are already available. Already available. So already they are available, which we have to use. That's it. We have to use the functions that are already available in the Python environment. In the Python environment. Environment means which you have already installed. You have installed Python, no? So Python you have installed. So in that environment, functions are already there. Functions are already there. So the functions that are already defined, already available in the Python environment, already available in the Python environment. So which can be which can be used by whom? By the programmer, by the programmer. So who will use that? The programmer will use it. Now for example, print. What will print do? What will print do? So print is a function. Now basically the parenthesis is there now. So whenever you find this parenthesis, you can say that they are functions. They are functions. What print will do? So it print. What is the task of print? What is the task of print? It is printing something. It is printing. It prints something onto the console. It prints something onto the console. It prints something onto the console. Is my point clear? Yes or no? What is print doing? Print is printing something onto the console. That's it. Print is printing something onto the console. Yes or no? Understanding my point? So what is print doing, sir? Print is printing something onto the console. Now, for example, if you remember len, len you remember. So what len will do? Len will find the length. Len will find the length. Finds the length of the data structure. Length of the data structure. So length will find the length of the data structure. Sir, prove it, sir. Okay. Let's prove it. Now, for example, I am printing A plus B. I'm printing something onto the console or not? Yes. What I'm printing, sir? I'm printing the value 8. What is the task of print? What is the task of print? Printing something. What is the task of print? Printing something onto the console. Point number 1. Right. Now, for example, I have S1 is equal to hello. S1 is equal to hello. Now I'll say len of S1. Now what I got here? I got 5. So what is 5, sir, here? 5 is the total length of that hello. Total length of that hello. So what is length? What is len? Len is finding the length of the hello. Length of the hello. It's also a function. It's also a function. Understanding my points? Yes or no? So in this way, you will look at what? You will look at the functions. What are these functions? Predefined functions. What are these functions? Predefined functions. So what is length taking? Length is taking, len is taking, taking the S1. Who is S1? S1 is the structure. It is taking something. It is giving something. What it is giving? It is giving it is returning the length. It is returning the length. Am I clear? Yes? Okay. Everyone clear with predefined functions? Yes? Okay. Now we will talk about user-defined functions. User-defined functions. So whenever I'm talking about user-defined functions, so what are user-defined functions, sir? User-defined functions are the functions which have to be created by the user. Now see, print is there, length is there. They are universal. They are used for everything. For example, you are working on some projects. So your project, no one knows, no, how Python environment knows your project. Python environment don't know your project. So it cannot create a function for your project. Yes or no? So means you have to create your own function. Now withdraw. Suppose you are working for a bank. Now you want withdraw function. So withdraw is there in the Python environment. Withdraw is there. Withdraw is not there. You have to create. Withdraw is not there. You have to create. Deposit is there. No, you have to create. Getting my points or not? Okay. So user defined functions means the functions that are to be created or defined by the user. The functions that are to be created or defined by the user. The functions that are to be created or defined by the user. User or the programmer. User or the programmer. User or the programmer. So it's created by the user or the program. Now what is this print calling? What is this print calling? Somebody already created. We are calling. Means our functions. See, predefined function means only one thing you are doing. What you are doing? Calling. Only one thing you are doing. What you are doing? You are calling. User defined functions, you have to create also, you have to call also. Understanding the difference? So what you are doing with the predefined functions? You are only calling. So what is the user responsibility here? Only calling. So this is only calling part. This is only calling part. Yes. But user defined means you have to create also, you have to call also. You have to create also, you have to call also. Understanding my point or not? So the functions that are to be created or defined by the user or the programmer and to be called whenever you want it, you can call it. It is not that you have to call it compulsory. You create it whenever you want, you call it. Whenever you want, you call it. Getting my points or not? Okay. So the functions that are to be created by the user or the programmer and can be called upon requirement. Upon requirement. If you require, you call it. Otherwise, no. Print length. Print maybe we are calling daily, but length are we calling daily? No. Print every day we will call, but length we will call daily. Yeah? No. We will call whenever useful. Whenever we want, we will call. Otherwise, we won't call it. Getting my point? So what are user defined functions? You understood now? What are user defined functions? The functions that are to be created are defined by the user or the programmer and can be called upon the requirement. It is as simple as that. Here? Okay. Now there are two things here. What you have to do? You have to create also, you have to call also. You have to create also, you have to call also. Okay. So now creation means defining. So first we will say, first we will go for defining the function. Defining the function. See, for everything you have to follow a syntax. Yes or no? So if you don't follow the syntax, you don't follow the syntax, so you will not be creating it, right? So you have to follow the syntax. So what is the syntax that I have to follow? Okay. So the syntax that you have to follow is def, okay, def space function name space function name, and you have to give the argument. What do you give? Argument. Arguments optional. Arguments are optional. If you want to give, you give. Otherwise, without arguments also you can. Without arguments also you can. Yes or no? Okay. Now, whenever you create functions, classes and all, you can go for docstring. Again optional. Docstring means what, sir? Help. Docstring means help. So whenever you want some help, see, somebody is creating the function. We want to use that function. We want the information of that function or not? Somebody is creating the function for me. Okay, I want to use that function. I want to get the information or not. So that information, whatever you want, you can put it here. Sir, what kind of information I can put, sir, there? What it is taking, what it is returning, right? So all that kind of information. What is the task it is? See, basically three things. Whenever you talk about a function, three things: task, taking the data, returning the data. Yes or no? Function means three things. What are the three things? It will do some task, it may take the data, it may return the data. Point number one, it is doing a task. Every function will do a task. Yes or no? Every function will do a task, right? Point number one is clear. Every function may take the arguments. May. It is not compulsory. Task is compulsory. Whatever function it is there or you create, task is compulsory. Arguments means accepting the data, optional. Returning the data, it is also optional. If you want to return, you return. Otherwise, no, you don't have to return. If you don't return, what happens? I'll tell you later. What are the three things you require? TAR. T for doing a task. Task is compulsory. Arguments means taking the data, optional. If you want to give, you give. Otherwise, no need. Next, returning the data. It is also optional. If you want to return something, you return. What happens after you return and all, we will see. Am I clear? Function. So function is also inside the class. Property is the same. Property is the same. Yes or no? Property is the same. Yes? Okay. Now docstring. Docstring is for what task it will do, what data it may take, what value it may return. These things. Docstring means you are writing some documentation. You are writing some documentation. That's it. That is also optional. Yes, that is also optional. Okay, but what are the three things important? TAR. T means task. A means arguments, taking the data. R means returning. So these three things are important. Okay. Right. Next, you have to maintain that indentation. You know about indentation, right? So you have to maintain that indentation. Indentation is compulsory. Okay. Right. So here you will write the statement. Here you will write the statement. Statements means anything. Anything. Variable declaration can be there. You can have if logics, you can have loop logic, you can have anything, doesn't matter at all. Yes, am I clear? Yes or no? So functions are stored. Whenever you want, you use it. Whenever you want, you use it. Okay, getting my point? Yes or no? Am I clear? So whenever you are talking about the function, so these are the things that you have to be taking care of. Yes. Okay. Statements. And you may have return statement. So return statement. So what is that return statement and all, will see. Yes. So what the statements will have? Task. What these arguments will take? Inputs. I mean, what the function may take. What the function may take. Yes or no? What the function may take. What return will do? What function will return? What function will return? Getting my points or not? Yes. Understanding? Am I clear? Am I clear with my points or not? So whenever you are talking about a function, it may take the data, it may return the data, and it will do some task. Compulsory. This return is optional, arguments is optional, but doing a task is compulsory. Doing a task is compulsory. We have defined the function. Then how to call the function? Calling the function. What is the next point? Calling the function. So you are calling. So how you are calling it? So just use the function name and arguments list. Arguments. Okay. So okay, for your understanding, so what I'll do is I'll just make a change. Here I'll say formal arguments. Here I will say actual arguments. For your understanding. Generally both are arguments, we can say, right? Point is clear or not? So just you have to use what? Function name. See, printer. What is print? Function name. What is len? Function name. What you are doing? You are just using the function name. You are just using the function name. That's it. Understanding my point? Yes or no? So that is how you define and call. Sir, one example. Okay, we'll go for a simple example first. Examples. Now I want to do that task here. This one I want to use function. Okay, what I'll do, I'll use function. Okay. Now what are all this? All these are the statements. All these are what? All these are the statements. Now tell me how to start a function. Def. What is the function? Def. Def is a keyword. Def is a keyword. Keyword followed by what? Function name. Function name. Right? Now statements. Where I can put the statements? I can put it over here. That's it. Simple. Done. Yes or no? Done. Written and all not required. So written is optional. What is optional? What is this function? Function without arguments and without return. No return is there. No return is there. No arguments are there. Yes. So what I told you, task compulsory, arguments optional, return optional. Am I clear? Yes. So what is this function? Without arguments and without return. There is no argument, there is no return. Yes or no? We have four ways in which we can write the function, that we will see. Now I will run this. Now did I get any answer? Did I get any answer? No. Why? Because they are stored blocks of code. They are not the ones which will give you answer directly. What you have to do? You have to call them. You have to call them. So print, without using printer, will it print something? Without using printer, will it print something? Without using length, will I get the length? Yes or no? Now without saying add, will it add? No. Compulsory, what you have to do? You have to say add. Without saying that add of bracket calling. What is this? Calling. So what we are doing here? We are calling. What we are doing, sir? Calling. Here what we are doing, sir? Here what we are doing? So here we are defining the function, calling the function. Am I clear? Yes. Okay. Now I will say add. Now tell me what happens. How you got the answer? How you got the answer? Tell me. How you got the answer? So you said, okay. So what you said here? You said add. So when you said add, what happens? The call will go here. Yes. After the call went, what it will do? What is A value? 5. What is B value? 3. What is A plus B? 5 plus 3. What is print 5 plus 3? 8. So what will be printed? 8 will be printed. Understanding my point? Now if I ask you to create a subtract function, what you will do? You will say df sub same. Okay, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3, print of A minus B. Same thing. Yes or no? Yes. Now I'll ask you, print 1 to 5. You'll write a loop. Yes or no? How you'll write a loop? Now if I'm asking you to print 1 to 5. So simply you'll use for I in range 1 comma 6. Yes or no? 1 to 5 means you have to get 1 to 6. Okay, because 6 is always exclusive, isn't it? So then you will say print of I. Yes. Now simply I got 5. Now I am asking you to write a function for this. How you will write? Df, understanding? Okay. Df display something. Display, right? Now what I can do, sir? Simply I can cut this and I can put it over here. Done. Very simple. Functions writing is very, very simple. Yes. Normal programs you can convert everything into functions now. How, sir? Just use this def display. Whatever programs you already written, you put that in the indentation block. That's it. That block is reserved for what? That block is reserved for, okay, so for your understanding I'll tell you. Now for example, def, okay, function name, right? This block is for what? Argument. Okay, this block is for what? Statements. This block is for what? Return. Now I told you a is equal to 5, b is equal to 3, print of a plus b. What are these? These are statements. Where I will put that? I will put in the statement. That's it. Now you have 10-15 programs. All those are up to now statements only. What you will do? You will put them in the statement. You will put them in the statement. Understanding my point? Am I clear with my points or not? Yes or no? So what you are doing here? You are simply keeping them. You are simply keeping them as a statement. You are simply keeping them as a statement. Clear or not? Yes. Right. So this function is what? Without arguments with return. Now what are the other three styles? Now tell me. Use your common sense. Common sense is required, isn't it? So function with arguments, combination, that's it. With arguments and without return. And without return. Same function we will write, but in 4 different ways we will write. Okay? Right. So function with arguments and without return. With arguments means what, sir? That a and b are there, no? So that will come as the inputs. That will come as the inputs. Inputs where? In the function name. Inputs where? In the function name. Simply I can do what? I can simply say, okay, I can simply say df, same function, add, I'll say a comma b. What I said? A comma b. Instead of writing them inside, I can even do it in the function name itself. Am I clear? Yes. Now, no need to give a and b values there. Now I can simply say print of a plus b. Yes or no? Print of a plus b. Simply what I said, a plus b. Now the next question is, how will I get that a value? How will I get that b value? Right? So you will get that a and b values from the function call. You will get that a value and b value from the function call. So how the function call will be made? Add 5 comma 3. Now tell me what happens. The docstring you are not using. Docstring is optional. Okay, let me use docstring here. Okay. So docstring can be used with generate docstring. It is coming or not? Okay. So let's say generate doc. What information you have there? Parameters. What is saying? Parameters. What is B? What is A and B? Parameters. So we said argument. Same thing. Parameters are argument. Same thing. Okay, in Python there is no difference between arguments and parameters. So that is why you can just say anything. In Java and all, you have something different, right? Now A, what is the type description? Now what you want people to give? You want people to give an int value. You want people to give some int value. See, it is not compulsory that they will give int value only, but we are saying we are giving that function to somebody like a manual. Like suppose, for example, you are buying a laptop or a TV or anything, you'll get a manual, no? That manual is nothing but docs. Yes, it is returning what? Is it returning anything? Is it returning anything? Is it returning anything? No, means none. No means nothing. Returning nothing. Returning nothing. Is it returning anything? No, it is not returning anything. It is returning nothing. Yes? Yes or no? Okay. Now add, okay, now let me run this. Now this will actually complicate your definition. Actually it is only one line. It is only one line. What is this doing? This is giving some information. All that information we kept it as a string, doc string. What we call it as doc string. It is not compulsory. Add. Now what I got? Now how the call is going? Tell me. How the call is going? Tell me. I hope now you understood the functions, right? Now tell me how the call is going. So 5. Where is 5 going, sir? 5 is going into A. Where is 3 going, sir? 3 is going into B. Where is 5 going? 5 is going into A. Where is 3 going? 3 is going into B. Print A plus B. So print A plus B means obviously 5 plus 3. What is 5 plus 3, sir? 5 plus 3 is 8. So what has come here? 8 has come here. Yes. So then why all this information, sir? If you want to get details about add, you want to get details about add. So how I get some details about add here? You will say help. What will say? Help of add. If you say help of add, it is giving the information or not? Yes, only information. With that information, what you will know? Oh, I need to pass two integer values. Okay, this function is not giving anything. It will give you some information. That is a use of the which string? That is the use of which string? That is the use of the doc string. That is the use of the doc string. Yes or no? Am I clear? Now, for example, sorry, no, triple quotes output you won't get. Input only. See, input you are excluding that, so that should not get executed. No. So when you don't want anything to be executed, you should use a triple quoted string. Triple quoted string. Okay. Now, for example, display is there. Now, let's say help of display. Are you getting anything which you gave? You are not getting anything which you gave. It is giving you all the other documentation. Yes or no? So it is nothing is useful for us. Yes or no? Because you did not write any doc string. You did not write any doc string. So I simply said display. It is giving nothing. Yes. Help on function display in module. Nothing is there. Why, sir? Nothing is there. Because you did not provide the doc string. Did you provide the doc string? Did you provide the doc string? No. So that is why it is not giving you any information. Any information is there. But when you said add, how much information you got? Okay. Before that, all other things came. Now for this, what information you got? See, help on function add in module, add a comma b parameters or arguments. You got the information or not? Why you got the information? Why you got that information? Why you got that information? Tell me. Because we used the doc string. We used the doc string. Getting my point or not? Yes. So that's the way we have to go for the function. We have to go for the function. Clear? Yes. Okay. Anyway, we will see the other two types also. Doc string, it is not useful for our functions because we are doing functions, we are working. Suppose if you are working in a project. Now in a project, if you are working, now your function he may use. Suppose you are in a team, you are in a same team. Your function he may use, your function she may use or he may use. At that time, doc string becomes important because all of you might not be at the same place. You might be on site. Okay, so at that time, it will be useful. Yes? Getting my point or not? Okay. Now, what is the third one? Function. What is the first style? Tell me. Functions without arguments, without return. Second style. Okay. What is third style? Functions with without arguments. Without arguments. So the fourth one you will write yourself. Function without arguments and with return, with the return functions without arguments and with return. So you are what you are doing now, you are not having any arguments, but you will have a return, you will have a return. So what happens, how the function will change upon using that return, we will understand. Okay, right. Now same thing, same add, I will not go anywhere, I will make it simple for you to understand. Df, same add. Now argument should be there or not? No, no argument, no argument, no. So a is equal to 5, b is equal to 3. Now what I'll say, I will say return a plus b. Return a plus b. Okay. Now simply I will say add. Okay, add. Now what it is doing? 8. Sir, there is no change, no? Yes, there is no change. But you will see the change when I'm using this, something like this. Now I will say 19 plus add. Now tell me what will happen. If I'm saying 19 plus add, now tell me what happened. Why 27? Because add is returning. Add is not printing. Add is returning. Add is giving a value. Add is giving a value. What add is giving, sir? Add is giving a value. What is it giving? It is giving 8. That 8 is getting added with 19. Previously this won't happen. Why, sir? Now for example, see, I'll write a function df sub, and I will say a minus b. Okay. Now same thing I will say. See what happens. Now what you're expecting, tell me. What you're expecting? Same thing I wrote. What you're expecting? 19 plus sub. What is sub actually? 5 minus 3. So returning 5. Now I will say print. Now tell me. What will sub do? It will print. It will not return. It will print. Then what happens, sir, here? Okay. Now tell me what happened. Unsupported operand type. Why, sir? Why you are getting that output? So try to understand the output or the error. Unsupported operand types for plus, int and none type means literally what it is saying, it is saying I am returning none. Now you read. Now you read. What it is returning? It is returning none. Means literally what is happening? 19 plus none. What is sub doing? Sub is returning none. Sub is returning none. If you remember, just 10 minutes back I told you, add returns what? Returns none. Returns none means what, sir? Simply, it is nothing but like this. Sir, I didn't give, no need to give. If you don't give also, it will automatically return none. No need to give. Automatically, if you don't return also, it will return a none value. Understanding my point or not? So unsupported operator, why I am getting that error? Previous for add I did not get that error. I got 27. Why, sir? Because it is returning 27. What is sub doing? What is sub responsibility? Sub responsibility is to print 2. It has printed 2. Sub responsibility is not to return that 2. Sub responsibility is to print that 2. Am I clear? But what it returns? None. Sir, I didn't give, no need to give. By default, none value is returned. By default, none value is returned. So this is very important note. So what is the note I have to write here? What is the note I will write? Every function returns none by default. None by default. Okay, none by default. So if you want anything else to return, that you can write. But if you don't say any return, it will return none by default. Okay, every function return none by default if user do not specify the return. Specify the If the user is not specifying any return, it will automatically return what? It will automatically return none. Understanding my points? Got it clear? Okay. Now what I did, sir, here? Okay, I'll write it here. Now understand the flow. Now when you said add, what happened? Tell me. Add went here. What is add doing? 5 plus 3. What is returned? 8 is returned. Okay. 19. What is 19? 19 is a normal number. Now what is add? Again the call is going. Again it is returning 5 plus 3. Means what happens? 19 plus 8. What is 19 plus 8? 27. 27. Okay. Next sub. Sub means what? Same. A5, B3. When you are making a sub call. So what is it doing? Print A minus B. Okay. 2 is printed. Okay. Then what is sub returning? It is returning none. Why, sir, it is returning none? We did give no. If you don't give also, it will return none. It will return none by default. Okay. Right. 19 plus none. Can I add anything to none? Can I add anything to none? I cannot add anything to none. So what happens here? Unsupported operand types for int and none type. Yes or no? Am I clear? So that is why I made a point. What is the point I made? Every function return none by default if user do not specify the return. If user do not specify the return. So this is by default available. By default available. Got it? Point is crystal clear or not? Yes. So that's how you look into the things. Understanding it? Yes. Any doubts up to here? Okay. Then what is the fourth style of function? Yeah. Use your common sense and tell. What is the fourth style of function? First style? Very good. What is the first style? Without return, without arguments, without return. Yes or no? Second one? With arguments, without return. Third one? Without arguments, with return. Fourth one? Exactly. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now tell me. Simple. Same add. I'll not go anywhere else. df add a comma b return a plus b. That's it. No need of writing an a, b and all. Right. Now tell me how to call this. Add 5 comma 3. Add 5 comma 3. Okay. So in Spider you will get direct result, but in other softwares you will not get. Okay. So you can use it like a normal variable also. Now tell me what happens. Same 27. Why is it 27? Because we are returning. We are not only adding, we are even returning. We are even returning. Yes. Am I clear? Add 5 comma 3 means where is 5 going? 5 is going into A. Where is 3 going? 3 is going into B. So return 5 plus 3. What is 5 plus 3? 5 plus 3 is 8. So 5 plus 3 is returning 8. So what is 19 plus 8? That's it. Now I hope function stop is clear. Yes. Next up we will discuss what are the different types of argument. So we have actually 5 different types of arguments. Arguments means that a plus b you are sending now here. So in this we have 5 types actually, right? Positional arguments, default arguments, keyword arguments, right? So that 5 types of arguments we'll discuss in our next session. Okay, hope things are clear. Yes. So you have to go through. I'll send the notes. Okay, I'll send the notes right away. So you have to refer. Once again, you will just go through the recording. Okay. So then you will get clarity. More clarity you get, more applications you can do. So not only listen, but try to do the practice also. So what you can do from tomorrow is, so today I did not tell you. Tomorrow you can get your laptops. So 10 o'clock your class will be over. You have to be there here up to 12 o'clock and you have to complete all these tasks and go. So daily 3 hours routine you make. For 1 hour coming from there, I think it will not be enough, right? So 3 hours you can spend it over here. So you can have any doubts or anything you can ask me, right? Yes or no? So after you go from here, you will get the recording anyhow. Okay, the recording also will get 1.5 hour time to get uploaded, right? So until then you can finish. Notes I'll send you right away. After the class, I'll send you the notes. So sit here from tomorrow. Okay, so get your laptops if any. So practice here. If you have any doubts, you can ask me and go. So daily this routine we will follow. Okay, because with that only you will get clarity. Otherwise, no. Right? So after going home, we will be like busy with something else or something. Right? Sit here, practice, and if you have any urgent work, you can go. But if you are free, you can just sit. Yes. Thank you. Hope you understood, Rasika. Okay. Okay, thank you, Shekhar and Saujanya. I think you have sent me WhatsApp. I'll just check it out and I'll plan a batch and tell you. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. No, sir. We'll continue in this batch only. That is also okay for me. No problem.
No, sir, ఇప్పటికే
ఓకే
చాలా లేట్ అయింది సార్.
అదే లేట్ అయింది నాకు అర్థమైంది ఓకే నేను నేను ఈ రోజే ఫైనలైజ్ చేసి చెప్పేస్తాను
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే